Welcome back to the Death Needs Dialogue Entertainment Network. This is The Depths of Fel'Than, Episode 10, The Sons of Gretch, Part C.
That I've got, there's just got peanuts in my pockets now. This is just a thing. I'm just carrying around peanuts in my pocket.
Roll persuasion.
That is 11.
Okay, so you hand him the peanuts and he takes him out maybe 3 seconds before he notices you're there, and he kind of looks at the peanuts questioningly and kind of cracks a smile and takes them out of your hand and he says, "Huh, well, I guess I won." And he puts them all in his mouth.
Of course you did, dear. She just pats him on the hand, sits down next to him, and then she says, "I don't know what's going on here, but we have to keep an eye on those children." And then she sort of proposes this idea that he keep an eye on one of them while she keeps an eye on the other one. You know, listen, Dhermit, sketch. Not trusting him at all. Also, clearly somebody murdered these children's entire family. And as the only survivors, I feel like perhaps we should keep an eye on them. And also their children. So, proposal that we try and find rooms close to the children.
Yeah, it won't be too difficult. Move anybody out I need to.
Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that, Frank. That's a great idea. Let's get you dirt.
So you guys make your way upstairs?
Upstairs.
Okay.
Nani's gonna curl herself up at the end of Gretch's bed. Like a puppy.
Okay.
Straight up.
Alright, sounds good.
Like a tiny dwarven
That's completely sketchy.
She's
that's fine.
sketchy.
That's a naughty.
We've established Nani's thing is that she's sketchy as fuck and she assumes everyone else is sketchy as fuck.
So Frank takes position outside in the hallway. He's not going to go into Gretch's room or Trell's room, whichever one we did. He's just going to hang out there, but yeah.
And that's that. Go sleep.
Okay, roll perception as you go to sleep.
Okie dokie. 12.
You hear some mumbling from outside the door. It seems to be Frank, though. That's all. And you go to sleep. Everybody is asleep except for Ravum. And at a late hour, Ravum, a ragged and tired dwarf, enters the door, opens the door, and comes in, and looks at now the fire all burnt out. Air along on the floor. He smells. He doesn't smell any food. And he looks at you and he says, "He'll be here in the morning." And he finds the comfiest chair and goes to sleep in it. This dwarf got the shaft all the way down.
Oh,
Food wasn't very good anyways.
poor guy.
He mumbles and just kind of goes off, waves his hand at you. That dwarf has had enough. Ravum, you are alone. Awake. You can hear somebody walking upstairs, perhaps somebody walking on patrol. There's maybe 1 or 2 guards outside as well. They're not going to leave it completely unattended.
Yeah.
It's the first night you guys came back with some sketchy shit going on, so there you are. It's quiet.
I'm going to fuck to bed.
Okay, you go upstairs.
Good choice.
Alright. So you guys
You
sleep,
wake up in the morning.
and you guys
And it's
sleep.
beautiful.
You all sleep for a good 8 hours. Erlon, you have not slept like this in a long time. Elves don't usually do it, and when you do it, it is rejuvenating. 100%. When you wake up in the morning, you can feel like your muscles have slept for 1,000 years.
I gave him 100 someone 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Two numbers.
So physically, Haralon feels wonderful at the moment there. So he gets up and he almost stands up like a hairpin, just and he's up on his feet
Ready for a big bowl of meat.
And his first thought is not how limber his body feels, even as he's stretching. He stretches out, leans over, and he goes outside to see if anything has messed around with those bodies, because he did put those guards on shift.
You did. And they weren't. You go outside, roll perception.
Oh no.
Well, you're just gonna roll perception, yeah.
At least there's no sun for them to build in there.
18.
18. You go and the door's closed now because there's no body blocking it. You open it, and the bottom hinge you notice as this creaking, horrifying, peeling sound of this rusted by guts and feces hinge squeals out. You open it, and you can just see as maybe 15 or 20 of those same little scurrying creatures just skitter off into the darkness. And now that you got a better look at them, you only kind of got the front part, but they're not just yay big. They're not just yay big. There seems to be 3 separate pieces that are that big, all connected to each other, and each one has a leg coming off of it. It skitters off down.
And it's quick.
Quick. Very quick.
But I'm assuming that the linens that were covering the bodies have been uprooted.
Oh, if they're not been, torn apart by slashing marks and stuff like that and eaten themselves, you do see scraps of blood, red, and some ones white, but definitely highly stained and cut and destroyed. Thanks for feeding my friends, though.
Jeez.
Give them extra strength.
Erlon's shoulders go lax, and he just kind of puts a hand on his head and sees those bunch of bugs skitter off, and he doesn't know if an undertaker came or if one went.
As you're seeing them skitter, roll knowledge or roll survival. Yeah.
Oh. Nat 18.
Okay.
So that's
With that and your perception, with that survival and your perception, you can see as these things skitter off into the dark. One of them has a whole limb in its mouth, and it's got these 2 large clamps just kind of clamped right in front of its mouth.
and it's still skittering away.
You see it kind of turn in front of you and then skitter away backwards, or skitter away into the back in the dark.
Did it come within my melee range?
No. You open the door. These guys are like 30 feet away.
Okay, so
Yeah.
they were just gone. Okay.
You smack
Like,
them.
Yeah,
like
you should
cockroaches
fight it.
when you turn on the light.
Disrespectful. That's just. I mean, they're insects. They don't know any better. They just look for food.
Still disrespectful.
Disrespectful to the dead. But I guess whatever Erlon did to kind of ward them off was broken easily. So he just goes back into the manse and sees if he can locate those 2 guards that he had tried.
You go out. It's morning now. Some of them are getting up. One you do see up walking around.
He goes up to him from behind and he says, does he know this guard's name?
Andy.
Andy?
Yeah.
Andy and Jeff.
Andy.
You can hear him talking to somebody as he interrupts his conversation. He says, "Yeah, and then that elf turns around. Yeah."
And that elf is here, wondering why you weren't on guard.
Now, I told the other guy to do it.
I told you both to take shifts.
Yeah, I let him on his shift. I went to bed.
So, Jeff?
Yeah, I woke up Jeff.
Where is he?
Sleeping.
I'd imagine he's sleeping. There's like a dozen rooms up there, you know.
Erlon is just going to see if he's lying or not. Just kind of read his face. No, he can't tell.
Okay.
It's an 8 for insight.
Seems like one of them stupid, You know, unrelenting humans.
Erlon just kind of sighs and walks off upstairs, and goes to the first level and kind of calls up, Jeff.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Jeff, come on.
Did
Jeff,
you
how
do
do
it
you-
again? You yell loud?
Yeah, he yells louder, just a little bit.
Okay.
Jeff.
And then you hear a door open and you hear, Shut up! Slam.
Plot twist, it's naughty.
Does he recognize that voice as Jeff?
Okay, sorry.
No.
It's not Jeff.
No.
It's Tannen.
It's Tannen, oh god. But it's not about to go knocking on each one of these doors or checking which one's Jeff, so he goes back down to Andy and he says, well, we're gonna have to watch them until we're gonna have to watch those bodies out there until the Undertaker comes up. Because
You see the bodies?
yep.
Not much left.
Oh, not much left at all.
You don't need the Undertaker anymore.
So they were gnawed on.
Feast.
Feast. Well, a lot of the bodies have been eaten almost entirely.
Where the hell is Jeff?
Called
He
up.
calls out, Jeff! You hear someone call shut up from upstairs again. Well, it's not like Jeff, not just. Maybe something's wrong. Then he goes upstairs and you hear doors opening, closing, opening, closing, opening, closing. Jeff! Jeff! Nani, the door opens on you.
She jumps out of bed and rails him in the head. Not with a frying pan, because she's
Roll
roll
initiative.
on her frying pan. Oh, that's not good. Oh wait, initiative 1.
He shuts the door as the frying pan careens into the door. Then you hear another door open. Jeff! He
Gail's
comes back
snoring.
down. He says, Jeff's not here, man.
I was waiting for that. Thank you.
Erlon just kind of he winces at the thought that something would have happened to one of the guards, and well, there were a lot of those bugs, so something must have happened to Jeff while we were sleeping. You must have woken him up. He went on his shift and must have got him, because there's no way he would have let those bodies rot and get eaten up by all those bugs without doing something about it. So he's probably gotten snatched up by them or tried to chase after him and something went horribly wrong. Or he's asleep somewhere else and we don't know where he is.
At this point, when you and Andy are talking about this, people start coming downstairs now with angry looks on their faces, looking at the two people talking about Jeff.
Erlon just looks up to the people who were angry and looking at them. It's possible one of the guards who were watching over the remnants of the bodies last night could have been taken away by some large insects.
Insect?
Yes.
Kind of shake their heads, and you can hear some conversation about Jeff and insects and whatnot, and then none. You slam into the door and you can hear this as the dresser beside you with the nice fancy mirror on it erupts into flames.
Nine just stops. Slowly turns around to look at Gretch.
You can see this wide-eyed Dragonborn's child's face with his hands outstretched like this, and all the blankets from his waist down and the four-post bed is now aflame. He's got his hands outstretched and just this look of amazement on his face.
Oh dear.
Roll perception. The furniture is on fire. The bed and the dresser.
Dragon.
As everybody starts coming Downstairs, a bunch of them start running upstairs again as they hear this rather large explosion.
This would have woken me.
Yeah, for sure.
Can I run across and create water to put the fire out?
You can go in the hallway and see where it came from. Roll
Okay,
perception. Yep.
14.
14. You get out to the hallway. There's about 8 other doors here. You're not quite. It was definitely from the other side of the room, but you're not quite sure which one.
Okay, start opening doors.
Okay,
See
there's
what's
4 doors on that side. 1, 2, 3, 4.
3.
3. You open the door. So 1, 2, 3. There's a boom, boom. Trell was first, and then Gretch. But that is number 3. Okay. So you open the door, and Nani's just standing there with a frying pan in her hand, and it is like burning orange red, as it was kind of standing over there where the dresser was. You see a dresser engulfed in flames, and the 4-post bed that Gretch is laying in is also on fire.
Can I cast create water?
Yes, you can.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
Over the bed.
Over the bed,
Because I don't know whether or not Dragonborn children will burn to death, so.
when you cast Conjure Water, a big bubble of water forms up above, it drops, dousing all the water. The dresser's still on fire. Here,
Can I do it again?
you can do it again. Dresser goes out, a bunch of people start running up to the door's open, there's smoke going everywhere. Soreza, you are awoken.
What a beautiful start to a day.
Glorious morning.
Poke open your door, there's fire, there's smoke, there's people yelling, there's...
Oh, that's a cloud of smoke. Looks like a butterfly.
Close the door. I'll then get dressed
Fel'Than
casually.
You guys hear the explosion from downstairs. Erelon, Ravam, you are awakened by this explosion. You were last to go to bed, so you were awakened. Yeah.
Most of this building is stonework, right?
Yes, it is.
It's pretty safe.
Pretty safe.
I'm gonna roll over and go back to sleep.
Nani is now concerned that the child is cold and wet, though.
The child is
Not
wet.
burning anymore.
The fire, Nani's
Did
concerned.
you make the water cold?
It was just
Room
water.
temperature.
Okay, room temperature
tepid.
water. Yeah, that's fine. He's alright. But he's there now, even way more surprised than he was before.
Yeah, Nani's gonna start noting. We're gonna get him out of the wet.
I'm
bed
going with
and
her.
into the
Pulling
dry
her.
clothes.
Yeah, there's you notice that there are dressers and things
That
around.
are on
Well,
fire.
that one is on fire. But quickly enough, if you open the drawers, the insides aren't on fire. The outside is very charred, but it seemed like it'd be a flash burn. You know, it could be wet though. Although Trell will have some
or
clothes.
something like
There
that.
is-
Something in his.
They were twins, so. And you guys go over to Trell's room. Everybody up there seems to be commotion. Humans come up and look, and then there's too many people. Most of them go away. Erlon, do you go up there to see what it was?
No, he would have actually went out with Andy. If Andy tried to go up, he would have taken him along with him,
Gotcha. Okay.
and he's investigating to see if there's any evidence of Jeff, any remnants of his
Sounds good.
clothing or anything like that.
All right then. Okay.
Nope, no remnant.
All right then.
Maybe your finger.
So Trell comes out of his room as well, kind of half dressed in this kind of white linen thing, and kind of looks around, and he says, "What's going on? What happened?" He's looking at the humans. He's like, "Tell me what happened. This is my house. You will tell me what happened."
Your brother exploded.
A voice comes from the group.
Decent description, I suppose.
Gretch! And he runs into the room to see Gretch soaking wet on the bed, these burn marks everywhere, and he's like, "Oh, Gretch, not again!" And he runs over.
We got an Elsa situation.
Again. Let it go, let it go.
I don't want to let this
First time
go.
this kid exploded.
Boom. Oh, what again? I think Nani's just stunned more than anything.
Your frying pan's coming down, or you can
Well,
cook an egg on it now.
things are. I don't know. Her brain's not.
She just woke up.
Felix is
Well,
gonna ask.
and then there was
like,
fire.
What do you
Things
mean
happen.
again? Has this happened before?
And he looks as you come in the room. He looks, so there's kind of humans poking their faces in the room. He rushes over and he shuts the door. And he looks at both of you, just Nani and Galus in the room now. Maybe Frank came in there too. And he says, well, he can do things. He can cast spells. But we keep it secret because he's too young. Father said always keep it secret.
Is he like a druid? Cleric? Wizard? Something?
Not sure.
Shut.
Roll Arcana.
13.
13. From what you can gather, what he's saying, he didn't. It seemed to be like a reaction type thing.
Not
So
purpose.
maybe not necessarily some types of magic. It certainly limits what he could be. But that he has the door shut, and he says, "Father told us not to talk of it to get us would get us in trouble. I mean, it's not uncommon to use magic, but he's too young."
How old are they?
They're only young. I think Dragonborns live to like 60 or something like that. They're maybe 13. 10 or 12 or 13.
I'm gonna walk over to him. Like the little one that's still in bed and just kind of sit beside him and maybe like just like hold my hands one above the other and just kind of show him that I can do magic too. Just like maybe some little feathers or something in the air and tell him that we'll help him. We'll get him figured out.
Okay.
Magic's not something to be scared of as long as you can control it.
He's still kind of looking at his hands, just kind of listening to you, looking over every now and then. He seems pretty shocked.
Just pat him on the head. He'll be alright.
And that kind
I
of
didn't
happens.
realize you're sitting on a wet bed.
She's sounding worse. She was a dog for a while, you know, so.
That's true. She was a dog.
And then you guys see. No, you guys are in the hall. So you guys are still all in that room. Yeah.
Yeah, Nani's just kind of stumped.
Okay, then. Trell goes over to the dresser and opens it up and says, he lifts up these wet clothes and he says, "This won't do. This won't do. Come with me, brother." He grabs him by the hand and like jerks him out of bed and takes him in the other room, in his room, and starts pulling out clothes. And if you follow me, you can see he's pulling out clothes. He doesn't know which drawer his clothes are in. Like he pulls this one, he pulls out.
Something
back.
dressed him.
The help.
The help.
So yeah, you
Where's
see that.
dragon
Where's the
lady?
dragon lady?
Yeah, their nanny. Where's she?
Recovering and so on.
Well, she's probably
Probably so.
concussed, to be fair.
Yeah.
And at 100 years old, she's probably takes a while to recuperate.
I actually completely forgot about her. She's still under the stairs, sleeping
Okay.
it off right now. Yeah. I suppose that explosion would have woken her up, though.
She could be deaf.
Yeah, she's old. She's old and stinky.
Took enough knocks to get
Eventually,
Yeah.
this old dragonborn does make their way up, as you guys are just kind of still dealing with what happened just a few seconds ago. And she seems to go into the room and she starts speaking dragonborn to them. And it's more like, "Oh, no, Trell, what are you doing? Stop, put that down." And then she starts getting clothes and she dresses the both of them. All with gold buttons and everything this time. So it takes a few minutes if you guys want to stand there and watch it, but then as she goes in the room, Dhermit comes down the end of the hallway and looks at everybody just standing here in the hallway, and he says, "Well, what's going on here?"
By that point, Erlon would have come back from outside. He rolled a 6 on his investigation.
Yeah,
so
you guys go around. There's
yeah,
a lot of the bodies have been spread out. You do find another body that seems to be either off out of the way or dragged out of the way. You're not sure,
Yeah.
but it is there. And you come in, and then
he goes up the stairs, and Erlon looks at all the people. And just as Dhermit came down, he he leans against the wall, one step from the top, and he just announces that there might be a guard missing or dead. Jeff.
Dhermit speaks up and he says, Who's seen Jeff last?
He gestures back and says, Andy.
Way to throw Andy under the bus, Jesus.
He put him on shift last night to watch over the bodies after we Oh, yeah. Like, I told him to shift him out.
Mm-hmm.
Told him to shift out, swap shifts so that they could watch over the bodies, make sure nothing happened to him. And Jeff must have went on shift and something happened to him.
Aye. Send out 2 men, see if you can't find a body or something.
Well, they...
You find a lot of bodies.
He's got no heart.
Maybe not the ones you're looking for,
He's
but
getting half the story.
Not a gelatinized one.
And he's he looks around. He sees Penner walk off into the room, and then he sees Nani and Galus and looks at the both of you and he says, "Nani, is breakfast ready?"
no, he just stares at him.
He says, "Good. I'll see you down there then." And he walks by all of you.
No, he just stares after him as he walks away. No, Nani goes back into Gretch's room.
Yeah.
And kind of stares at the burnt bed. And then stares at the burnt dresser. And then stares at the burnt bed some more. And then runs her finger across the charred wood of the dresser.
It's all black.
Sooty and whatever on her finger.
It's all fresh, yep.
And then runs it across her face. And then goes downstairs to cook.
Fuck, okay. Alright.
So now she's got like 2 black stripes across her mustache. She got a little Hitler stash right there.
Terrible.
Before Erewhon would have went and gathered up a couple people to go check everything out, he would have just, before they started dispersing, he would have said, did anybody send for an undertaker? He didn't know last night, he didn't check.
I don't know if he realizes he's the only person who gives a shit about those dead
nobody
bodies.
else.
I believe Raven's still sleeping.
Yeah,
Yeah, Raven doesn't even bother.
he just rolled
You
over.
are still up in the hallway, yet everybody just kind of looks back at each other. Raven did that pretty much at the middle of the, when nobody else was around with that one singular dwarf, so nobody else knows
Oh, yeah,
that he
that's
did
right.
that with that dwarf pretty much.
Dwarf
And the
probably
dwarf
still
is the
sleeping.
only one who also knows, and he's currently downstairs asleep because he didn't get back until like 3 in the morning or something. Or something ridiculous.
Erewhon just lets out a sigh and goes back downstairs. Son of a...
When you go downstairs, you can see that Dhermit is sitting in the main room. He has a table pulled over in front of him, and there's this large bag and a chest, and his book, what was I calling it? His ledger is opened, and he's sitting there. There's a lineup of 2 human males, 3 human males there. And you see him writing down books and writing down information in his book. He digs into this big bag. He counts them up and he passes it to Andy. Jeff is gone. That's right. Passes it to Andy, and he says, when he reaches out his hand, he says, "Well, thank you for getting it this far. Here's your pay and a little extra for the hardship." And he passes him a sack of coin, and he goes, and it's the same conversation with every one of the humans that run through him. And eventually all the humans do go through.
Erewhon would have gotten in line just a couple more behind Andy.
An empty bowl.
Right in front of the other guy.
Yeah, because he's there, whatever. So there were only 2 people there, so he just wanted to slink in real quick.
You're just pay.
That's right.
So he comes up next in line, hearing the speech that he gave 2 times in a row, and looks at Dhermit, and he just nods to him and says, "I'll gather some men to go look for Jeff soon. Just wanted to check and see what was happening here."
Aye, Erewhon, as I listened, I found that your work was exemplary. He reaches into his sack, counts out some coinage, puts it in, goes into another sack, puts something in there. Roll perception.
Perception. That one?
Okay. You don't even see it. He looks like he just goes in one sack,
I'm
puts
gonna
something into a coin.
inspiration dice that. Use my dice of inspiration because I'm sick of getting crappy rolls. And that's a crappy roll, 10.
Okay. Alright, you can see that he definitely had another bag in his hand, but you're not quite sure. He puts some coins in your bag and he hands it out to you and he says, thank you, Erlon, for your commitment to the task at hand. I appreciate you going out of your way for helping us on this particular task. There's a little bit extra in there for you. One question. I do need some help for the next 3 months. I have some impromptu work I must take care of. Are you going to be around for a while?
I have nowhere else to be. I sent a message to my family back in Delron, so
Can we send mail?
I sent that.
Who the hell are you gonna send mail to? Oh, your sister, right.
I did that at the start of the campaign. Yeah, everyone did that at the start of the campaign.
Yep.
So.
Yep, you investigated? Yep, absolutely. And then
Just
he says,
for the record, Naughty rolled a 19 for breakfast.
oh, fantastic. Good.
She recuperated overnight.
That's right, that's right.
Sorry.
So, no worries.
Priorities.
No, this leads into something, but I just thought I'd roll that there in that little way.
He hands it off and he says, stick around. We're making our home base here for now.
He just crosses his arms and then just looks at Dhermit and says, what of the children
What of the children?
without their father?
Then that's my responsibility. They own this company. And as part, so do I.
Erlen squints. Very well. And he's just going to walk off with his bag of coin.
It's a bag of coin, alright. It's a bag of coin.
So how many people would be in line after him?
Whoever gets up and is around. All the
Alright,
humans go through.
How many humans are there?
I think we had 14.
14? Okay, so there's a giant line of people heading into the living room.
Yeah.
Cereza gets in line. She doesn't know what's
I don't
going
know
on.
about
She's just in line.
Beautiful lineup!
There's such attention to detail. It must be a very important line.
Yes,
Excellent.
they're all
Cereza gets in line.
perfectly in order.
Okay, so you get in line. The line goes.
I'm the last person to join this little expedition, so I might as well be the last person in line.
Naughty's in line.
No, he's in
She's
line.
ready
Galis is with Nani.
with a plate of food.
She doesn't know why, but she's there too.
With a plate of food.
Dhermit hasn't eaten yet.
From where?
She cooked breakfast.
Okay, oh, that's right. Yeah, okay. There would be a lot
A
of
delicious,
lot of
delicious
documents
breakfast.
and
Is
people in
this
line.
the-
Yeah, you got
Is
that
this
right.
the breakfast line?
No. Breakfast is
okay.
over there. This is special.
No.
This is special. This is special. Naughty's on a mission now, boys.
That was great. He's like, no, breakfast is over there. I'm busy. Get away from me.
Oh, Oh,
Okay, so you, Cereza, you stay in line?
Yes.
Okay, you stay in line. You, get to the end of the line and Dhermit's there looking at you and he says, well, how can I help you?
I have no idea what the line was for, so I just got in line.
Oh, what's your name?
Cereza.
Not in my book.
So how can I help you?
What are you doing here?
Who are
How did you get here?
He does write your name down in the book now, though.
Okay.
Uh-oh. You're in the book now.
Uh-oh. That's a good book, I hope.
Well, the other
It's a
people
book.
You have beautiful handwriting.
Swedish.
Because he's sketchy, but he's not blind.
If I roll with inspiration, is it I have to stick with the other one, or is it
Yes.
just advantage?
Oh, I think you have to stick with the other one?
I think you can pick.
I think.
Pick it.
I'm going to use my inspiration. For a persuasion roll, that's a 21.
21? He looks up at you and he says, well, thank you very much.
I'm flattered.
Are you skilled with the arts of literature and documentation? I see that you're...
Yes.
Are you?
Perhaps then you can hang around. We can find something for you to do, I'm sure.
I would like that.
Cereza,
Yes.
your last name.
You never told me like Madonna.
I just have one name.
He nods and says, Cereza.
What about us? What
No,
were
I
you
still
doing?
hold
You
the
guys are
blade.
behind Cereza.
Still hold the blade.
I'm gonna go get breakfast now.
Taught us off.
And you move off to the kitchen where
Yes.
the wonderful smell is coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Nani, what do you present to Dhermit?
Nani clomps up to the table and drops a plate of food in front of him. There's burnt sausages and half-cooked eggs, and just crosses her arms and stares at him.
Galus, there's a visible pause here where Dhermit looks at the food. Just for about 1 second too longer. Glances only slightly at Nani. Only slightly. And then he reaches over into this chest. And he opens up this chest beside him. And this chest has got sacks and bags and other smaller chests. And he looks around it for a little bit and he kind of looks at Nani one more time. He pulls out this little sack, this big. And he opens it up. Smiles at this little smell and takes a little pinch and he goes, sprinkles it on and the sausages become unburnt. The food begins to smell amazing. It's back, ties it up, puts it in there, pulls the plate over and he says, thank you, Nani, and begins to eat.
She's still waiting for her money. Just stands there and stares at
Eats
him.
his whole meal.
While Nani watches.
Hoping he chokes on it.
Gail's just kind of standing there.
Gail's just
Talk
like,
to
what?
Dhermit.
Like the
Most awkward 7 minutes of your whole life.
Yeah. He doesn't even eat quickly. He's just.
staring Nani dead in the eyes.
Then he pushes the plate away, moves his ledger back in, he writes the name out, and he says,
Yeah, but I didn't drink.
Nani, your work has been exemplary. The food has been amazing. I would appreciate it if you would stay on staff and feed the rest of us, whilst we do our work.
Don't believe that one.
Very well. And he looks over at you, Galus, and he says,
Can you cook?
how may I help you?
Well, I know you gave me a small sum when I came on board.
Ah, yes, a stipend you agreed to.
I feel we've done a lot more work than perhaps what was initially proposed, so, you know.
Ah, well, you are speaking on behalf of the group at large or yourself?
All of us, we've all done, I think, a little more work.
In that I do agree. And I have allocated quite a sum to give over to people for such hardships that they have fought through. And he sits back for a second, roll persuasion.
Actually, 20.
20?
A dirty 20.
That's good, that's good. That's good. I'll give him a post, but that's damn
Well,
good. He's not giving it. Okay. So he sits back and you kind of see his fingers tap and his head tilts a little bit and he says, I'll need some help here, if you're willing to work. There'll be odd jobs here and there, but you'll be paid
For how long? Just
as long as it takes. I don't want to be down here any longer than anybody else, but we're stuck.
What kind of jobs?
Not sure. I've never run a mining company before. We don't know yet.
I don't know. I'll get back to you on that.
Very well. Closes the book. Takes a sack of whatever it is that seems to be about half, maybe 3/4 smaller, and he puts it in his bag of holding and takes his ledger, slides that in his bag of holding, and he takes one small sack out of his coat pocket and he just kind of shakes for a second. He opens it up and he pulls something out and he puts it in his hand, looks at it, looks at you, Gales, and he kind of tosses it to you. You catch this little tiny jewel, maybe about that big, the size of a head of an eraser.
What color is it?
Roll D4.
Little triangle.
Ooh, Fel'Than.
1.
Red.
She just tucks it away in her pocket of the stolen clothes she's still currently wearing.
And he continues to pack up as Nani is staring him down. He moves his stuff out from underneath the plate and stands up, rubs his hands, big smile on his face, and he says, I think I'll take a walk. And you still sleeping, Raven?
Snore away.
I think I would probably get up at this point. But
Okay.
About time.
As you're coming down the stairs, you can see Dhermit as he walks out the front door. And you can smell this robust flavor of a delicious, delicious, hearty breakfast. Nani peeks out the kitchen.
He still didn't pay me though. I'm following Dhermit.
My apologies.
He didn't pay me.
He was going to pay you last. I forgot that. And he does pay you.
technically, she isn't last. He hasn't paid me.
That's true.
This is also true. That's only because you slept in.
It's true.
It's minor technicality.
Fearless wanders back to the kitchen for another plate of breakfast.
Of course, there is plenty. And I'm going to say, Nani, he walked out without paying you.
Yeah, and Nani follows him.
Okay.
Right
All right.
behind him, stomping along with her little dwarf. I mean, she's not gonna get that far. She
No,
can't move
no.
that fast. But it's,
But neither can he.
it's the thought that counts.
If he wanted to, he could outpace you.
Yes.
And he does.
Yeah.
For about 150 feet outside the door. And then he stops. It's not really a street. This is rough, hewn ground that you're kind of walking back into civilization. This is like a work site. So, and he stops dead.
And Nani stops behind him.
Okay. And he turns around and he looks at you. He lets some time pass, maybe about a turn or two, and he says,
I feel like this is turning into just a battle of the wills.
and he looks at you and he says, do you have a problem with me? With the way I run my business? With the way I make my money? With the way I fund my family? Because if you do, I would like to hear it now.
Not at all.
Then what is the problem?
You decided yet.
Well,
Currently, I haven't been paid yet.
he says, well, let's fix that now. He goes into his pocket for the 10 gold he promised you.
Oh, Jesus, I don't
I think it was like 10 gold.
I'm
I'm pretty sure it was
Sure,
like
that
10
sounds-
gold.
that sounds-
Everybody
That's
else
all
felt
to
like,
change.
yeah, basically is what it was. He
That
kind of
sounds
got you in on the skim.
Well, to be fair, Tanith kind of got me and didn't really even have anything. He
That's
just
true.
offered to pay me.
That's true. So he reaches out, he puts in his pocket. You see him thumbing a few coins around, and he empties some into his hand. He says, here's your pay. Now, and he goes to tip it out of his hand. It falls to the ground. Cling, clang, ting, clang. You know, you dwarves, you're a stubborn race. All I'm trying to do is make a living. And you won't even tell me why you don't like me. I find that rude, and I don't like you.
Well, there's something we can agree on. I don't like you. You don't like me.
Then perhaps we can work together, not liking each other. I have 17 men in there that need food.
I don't want to work for you. I
Well,
don't
then what do you want to do?
belong
What are you doing here?
I'm here for them.
For who?
She just sweeps her arm out in the general direction of.
Well, then be here for them.
Yeah, the two of
Feed
you
them.
out in the middle of the
Protect
street. I'm
them.
here for them.
She's crazy. them! The
So he
voices
says-
in my head.
He says, well, then do it for them. Feed them. Protect them. Watch over them.
I never said I was leaving.
You said you didn't want to work for him, though.
Yeah, but there's a difference between not working for someone and then leaving.
He seems to think he
Not
owns
wanting
me
to
all
work.
of a sudden. Nani is not a kept woman by any stretch.
Not even
how
by
he
her.
rolls.
Yeah, I know, and I don't like it. Damn it! I thought that was the little cat. I got really excited for a second.
Well, then what are you gonna do? It costs a lot of money here to live in the shears, and you should know that.
I'm 300 years old. I've survived this long without you. I think that I'll be okay.
Very well.
I don't know if they can survive without me.
Hey, then we have the root of the problem. So then I say to you, Nani, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna feed them.
Then feed them. And leave me be with your wandering eyes. I'll not have it anymore. If you have any questions for me, I'll answer them as truthfully as I can. But until then, leave me be.
Yeah, I was punking him out. His eyeballs bug out and I'm full on dead. You don't know where
So-
these eyes have been.
With it too,
What these eyes have seen.
because he's so good at composing himself and such, and rolls a natural 1.
To get our hot
Wow,
dog.
that's something. This is meant to be I love fate. So, as you kind of give him the eye, the crazy eye, you can see him. Just his arms do kind of come up a little bit, and then it holds for a second. Then he smooths himself out, and he says, "So then we're good."
For now.
Aye.
She picks up her gold coins. She was gonna leave them, but you know what? That's 10 gold. I got mouths to feed here, man.
If you didn't intimidate him, he was going to walk away. But you did. He's not leaving until you leave from him.
That's fine.
Okay, so you pick up the coins and go?
Pick up the coins and go.
Nice. That's excellent. So you kind of bend down, 10 coins of gold, turn around and walk back to the manse, leaving him in the...
And dust.
That's where you leave
Goes
him.
into the manse and slides 10 gold into Gaelus's pocket and walks back in the kitchen.
You going to let her know you did it, or sleight of hand?
Just,
sleight
can
of
we
hand,
sleight of
then.
hand that? Yeah,
Yeah.
we should probably.
It's like a nat one. Nearly pulls his pants off.
Trips her.
Well, they're not
That's a
hers, so they probably won't get
9.
9?
Well, they're not her pants, so they probably
Yeah,
won't.
they're
Kendall's
not
pretty
mine.
heavy.
Nani, you're wearing pretty baggy traveling clothes, right?
Which might become handy.
Yeah, so you kind of reach your hand in the pocket and get the coins in, but when you pull your hands out, the pockets, the clothes are so baggy, it just hooked around, and you feel Nani's hand is in your pocket, and she's trying to pull her hand free, trying to get into the kitchen.
I just look at her and. What are you doing?
Worry about it.
2 for
Just
sure.
kind of give her a look and. I don't say anything because there's people around.
All right, you guys, Nani, you get some food. You went into there, you put the things, and you went to the kitchen. All right, so Nani's in the kitchen.
Someone's in the kitchen with me.
Someone's in the kitchen with me, I know.
Someone's in the kitchen with me.
Later on,
Strumming on the frying pan.
a
Someone on
group
the hurdy.
of Dragonborn arrive. These Dragonborn are cloaked in black. They have veils on their faces of black as well, and they approach. One of them knocks on the door. Whoever answers the door, one of the employed people for Dhermit opens the door, and they are there.
Erlon would have been counting his coin in the living room.
Okay, good. So you find 70 pieces of gold, as well as 2 gems worth 25 gold pieces each.
How much is my gem worth?
25.
Depends
I'm just telling you now, when you guys go to actually trade them in for something, they may be worth different, maybe worth less.
Depends on your persuasion.
Depends on your
Can you
persuasion.
set them into drawers?
On average, 25 gold.
Yeah, on average.
2 gems of 20 gold each?
25.
You're so rich,
And
bitch.
the Dragonborn speaks in Draconic. Who opens the door? One of you guys, maybe?
It was one of the employees. Or one
Yeah,
of the
so
others.
speaks
Andy.
Dragonborn to this human.
Human is like, what?
This human just looks at the sky again, It says, who does speak Dragonborn?
Erlon, I think.
Erlon, they would know that Erlon does. So he calls out, he looks around, he says, Erlon!
What?
Someone's speaking dragon over here.
Well, that's insensitive. He gets up and starts making his way over, and in Draconic he sees. He says hello in Draconic.
You see the draconic.
And the Dragonborn in front bows to you slightly, and it says, and they say, on behalf of Keldrin, we are here to reclaim the dead.
Oh.
Ooh.
Erlon, a look of worry immediately plasters across his face, and it's visible. And he kind of, his shoulders raise up high, and he just ushers them to come with.
They follow. The guy in the lead looks back and says, did you bring your spoons? They follow you.
And Erlon says in Draconic, as they're walking, well, there was a bit of a mishap. There were these bug creatures that were feasting on their corpses. We had to move them out of the manse so that they wouldn't stink up the entire household.
So anybody who didn't know about the bugs eating people now knows about the bugs eating people as the conversation through the main walkway.
He's
no,
talking in Draconic.
Yeah,
So
My apologies, I forgot that. So yeah, they're talking Draconic.
yeah, so Erlon's kind of gesturing as he's walking, and he opens the door for the priests of Keldrin and hangs his head.
As you open the door, you can see another one of them scurry off into the dark.
Were the children present for that conversation? Because they speak Draconic, and they would now know that their entire family was eaten by bugs.
I don't know. They might have been upstairs.
Oh, they came down probably for breakfast.
They'd be down there.
If Erlon
That's
visibly saw
Somebody's
them,
covering their ears.
if Erlon visibly saw the kids, he would
Six.
have.
They're in the kitchen. 6 perception. They didn't get it.
Okay, good.
I was gonna say, because
Thank
that would be a trauma that we
Thank
might have to
goodness.
unpack.
Not only were they slaughtered, they were eaten by bugs.
They were essentially fed to bugs.
We took
By
them
this
outside.
guy right here.
By the people who have been protecting them.
Anyway,
So
sorry,
you
continue.
open the door and they look out. A bug scurries off and they say, "Keldrin, protect us." They look at you, Erlon, and they say, "There's nothing that we can do. They are gone."
He nods.
You can see the Dragonborn reach out a hand towards you, palm up.
Would I know that this is like some sort of invitation for like a handshake or
Money?
They want
roll
money.
religion?
Roll insight.
Insight?
I don't like that grin.
He wants a high five.
It's a 12.
It's 12.
He wants you to pick up the pieces and put them back in his hand.
Maybe he wants a handshake. You're not quite sure of the 12, my friend. It could be this is a new land to you.
He looks at the hand and squints and back to the hand. And he just has a puzzled look on his face. You were sent for, weren't you?
Yes.
Did they give you a bill or anything of that sort?
I will be giving you the bill. 17 gold.
Oh,
For doing nothing?
You see him
Sure
and
enough.
5 other Dragonborns cloaked in dark cloaks with equipment. You can see them holding jars, stuff, things. One has a trolley with equipment on it. They may have came a long way. You, Ravim, you certainly know that dwarf didn't get back till late.
Yeah.
but you're not. Are you downstairs? Not out here with me.
No.
No. Erlon now would have like put 2 and 2 together by this point, and he just says 17 gold. I can talk with my employer and see if they can directly pay.
The hand kind of comes back in a cringe and says, "Please."
They're not here at the moment.
How convenient.
You hear this kind of dragonborn, almost snarl, but more of just, why do I have to deal with people who are not dragonborn, kind of thing.
At least he's speaking the language. So, Erlon will add as well.
This is how you don't deal with that.
Once we sort everything out, if you provide me the address of your temple or the whereabouts, I can come and deliver the payment.
You will be expected.
He nods.
They don't. They gather their things and they leave.
Erlon shits his pants.
Erlon comes back like aghast, and he just is rubbing his hand on his face. That was intense. He says that in common.
Ravum, you
What is it with you and antagonizing the Dragonborn?
He shrugs.
So why did I have to learn Dragonborn?
Father was an emissary to multiple nations.
He
So
was something.
So the rest of you guys see those cloaked figures leave.
And Erlon is going to look to Ravum for a moment, and he just says, do you want to help locate the missing guard by chance?
Yes.
Okay. And he looks over to Galus. Are you in the kitchen? Is Galus in the kitchen at the moment, or
Yeah.
where are they?
She was in the kitchen. She's in the kitchen stuffing her face again.
Nani's helping her stuff her face. Every time Gillis' mouth opens, Nani's like throwing extra food in there.
Where's Cereza at?
Probably having a second helping of breakfast herself.
So it's a pretty good roll.
It's beautiful. Yeah, it's a beautiful meal.
It is beautiful.
So
This is very
really
exquisite.
hungry.
Erlon will try to find a couple people. He'll see Cereza, and he'll say to her and Nani and Galus, because I'm assuming they're all in the kitchen, or in close proximity, and he'll say, well, we do need to locate that missing guard, whether he's dead or alive, and there's a few bugs. It's better to know if he's dead or alive for bookkeeping purposes, I would suppose.
This place is massive. How are we going to find whether or not it's here?
There were bugs that I trailed. that were
Excuse me,
eating
what?
boxes.
Back up for a second.
So,
Bugs, you say?
yes, there were some bugs that I followed. And
Have you been
You
drinking?
followed bugs?
last night I tried
Are
to
they
do
talking like, and she holds her fingers up, like bugs? Like little bugs?
Erlon holds out his arms like a foot or two length.
You can hear a gasp, and you can see Gretch drop his spoon in his bowl.
Go upset the children.
Erlon just nods.
Yeah, you
slowly.
goofed that one. You just accept it.
But all we know is that Jeff is gone.
Nani goes over to console poor Gretch. He's now got food dropping out of his mouth.
Yeah, a little bit splashed on his
Yeah.
face. Yeah, just eyes wide at this. He's had a,
It's okay, it's okay.
he's had a
Kid
big
needs
month.
therapy.
He's crazy. He doesn't know his son.
Well,
It's fine. It's
To be
fine.
fair, Daddy's crazy.
It's fine. It's fine.
To
Everything's
be
fine.
fair, all he said that there were some big bugs that he followed. So that could be
Yeah.
anything, really.
Children would be scared of big
Children
bugs.
who are already traumatized would be traumatized about large insects in their backyard. Oh my, he might also know. Do we know about them? I mean, would they have been there
Are they common
prior
here?
to? I mean, maybe this is something that's been haunting him his entire
It
life.
seemed to be common to it. They seemed pretty startled when you did the size thing.
Okay.
Erlon will add, after seeing that he winces, we'll be able to deal with them. I don't think that they're the quick, but we'll be able to deal with them easy enough, I'm sure. We just need to find Jeff.
This conversation needs to leave the kitchen, I think.
It's your kitchen.
Gretch can't handle much more. Take it out. Take it outside. Take it out there. Go. Everyone out. Shoot.
So he'll kind of usher first to Cereza and Galus.
I
Take
pick
the
up
food-
I
take
pick
the food
up-
with you.
I'm thinking
And go.
He's obviously thinking that if I leave the kitchen, I have to leave the food, and then realizes the plate isn't attached to the
Not attached to the
counter.
table.
She's not
No, he
very
doesn't care about
bright.
the plate.
Dice of inspiration, controlling your kitchen.
Yeah, my kitchen, bitch.
So
You
she
can edit
does
that out later.
take the plate with her.
You guys all make your way to the living room now. The living room at this point is filled with humans. You still got 14 humans walking around. A few more dwarves have come by. Now there's about 5 that have made their way down. You get the story from them that Ornul and Tanith were intercepted on the way down here and taken somewhere else by other Dragonborn officials.
Oh, lovely.
And that's all you got from their particular position. Yeah. So, breakfast is finished. You guys don't really know what to do though. You can see some of the human guards looking at the money. It's like, well, what are we going to do? We can't go home. It's thinking about it. They haven't really gone anywhere. A few hours pass though, and Dhermit returns.
So, well, in those hours between Dhermit not being there and then being there, Erlon would have talked to a couple of the humans, seeing if they were able to come with them to check out to try to find Jeff, basically, just because things could get hairy, because we don't know. There were a lot of those
They're
things.
more than happy to help you find Jeff.
Yeah.
They're not doing anything right now, and they got a pocket full of money, so they're ready for the next thing.
Yep.
And they go out. I'll get you to roll investigation with advantage. Ravim, are you gonna help with that?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get you. There's 2 guards, so you guys can both roll with advantage.
Cool. 15 or 16, so it's going to be a 19 for me.
Who has investigation?
Yeah,
20.
20. Cereza, did you want to join them or anything?
Sure.
Okay. I'll get you to roll as
I
well.
mean, she
And
figures Jeff
did
probably
you kick
just...
Alis out of the kitchen?
I kicked everyone out of the kitchen.
Everybody?
If this
Just-
conversation is happening, it's happening. What if she chose to go or not?
I wandered over and I'm staring into the fire.
So investigation, 1.
Okay.
Oh no.
Not ideal.
I rolled on that one.
So you guys looking around, you're walking around the area of the manse, and you can see the bodies. You can see a body that's off to the waist, closer to the wall,
Oh no.
and it's pretty messed up. There's lots of pieces everywhere, but you're able to discern enough Delron-colored clothing to be pretty sure that this is Jeff.
Oh no, Jeff. Oh, that's a poor way to go. Erlon looks and sees if he can find any kind of tracks.
Is that technically the second person that Erlon's killed?
He did order him out there.
He sent him out there.
Put him on shift to
Just
just.
put him on
He
shit.
did send
He
him out.
only saw a couple of those things. And
It's
they look,
totally your fault.
they
You
look
told
small.
me that. Listen, you can't talk.
You
You're
can
wrong.
justify it all you want, it's still
Yeah,
your fault.
whatever helps you sleep at night, Erlon.
You guys keep continuing to look around, and as you are exploring a particular part of the tunnel where the body was, it goes up maybe about another 20 or 30 feet and kind of seems to stop up there and just kind of ramp up into the roof and stop.
Mhm.
As you go forward, all you guys are walking and looking around. I'll get Ravim and Erlon to roll a dexterity saving throw.
Oh lord.
Always out.
That's
I
gonna
was staying
be.
inside.
I was hoping you'd go because
I love when
I'm sort of dawdling
What?
back.
I was hoping you'd go because
Yeah, you're stuck. Yeah, you're back there with the natural one. You got caught up, and there's this beautiful piece of gem just sticking there to the stone, and it's in the stone. But if you could get that out, I'm telling you, it not to mention it's just this natural formation as it is right there. It's so beautiful.
I also got a 14.
14 and
14.
14. Okay, both he's got 14. DC 15.
Of course.
As you're walking in, it's just there's so much weight. There's you guys plus the 2 humans, and that's what's the weight factor.
Oh,
When you guys walk in, you're walking on the ground, and the ground kind of gets maybe a bit sandy a little bit, just a little bit. You don't pay it too much mind until the other 2 guards walk up behind you, and you guys can feel the ground kind of shift just a little, and then all of a sudden, Cereza, as you're looking over to tell them, it's like, hey, look at this beautiful. The ground beneath them goes, falls out beneath you. You guys fall 10 feet You take 1 point of bludgeoning damage, and you fall down into a slope, and the 4 of you roll down this slope about another 20 feet into a lower chasm
Oh no.
where you can see. Roll perception.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I
No.
see absolutely nada.
Oh no? Okay. One of the humans landed on top of you. That's the problem.
I got a 12.
You got a 12. Erelon, you're the first one up. You stand up right away, you look around, you're on your feet. Your dark vision can catch. It's kind of an open-ish room, maybe 25, 30 feet around in irregular sections. You look behind you and it seems like the whole wall had caved in right against it, and you guys can see up Cereza looking down there. So they're about 30 feet up there. She's 30 feet up. And when you look around, you can see all around here there's these bones. Pieces of metal and bones everywhere.
Oh god. He's
You
gonna
can
try
hear
to help. Where did that come from?
You're asking the blind guys.
Yeah. Then you
You can still hear though.
in amongst that, you can hear, and a torch lights up, casting light in 40 feet. And when the light gets cast in 40 feet, you can see maybe about 3 or 4 dozen of these creatures. You're not there. You're not there, Galus. You're not there. And as soon as the light goes on, they scatter all away in the darkness, but the echo of the chittering and the scratching on the rocks is just almost overwhelming.
So
But they all
scatter.
skitter away.
Are you guys okay?
For now.
Hold on to that thought.
Roll a wisdom saving throw, Erelon.
Oh, that would be an 18.
18. You feel this presence, this
Beautiful.
almost this piercing into the back of your head. You can just feel it over, just kind of cloud your head for a second, and you shake it off. You look around. You don't see anything. You don't know, something clouded your mind only for a moment.
He looks around and he... Would he be able to roll Arcana or something to see if he's familiar with that kind of feeling?
With a disadvantage?
Disadvantage? 5 or... Okay, so that is going to be a 8. Probably not, right?
You're not quite sure. Something clouded your mind just for a moment. You lost focus and then it came back.
Keep your wits about you. There's something here that messed with my mind. Tried to.
The other 2 humans stand up. Ravum, one of the humans kind of gets up off you, and now you can see. You couldn't see or hear anything that happened. You were stuck right underneath them. And then the one human stand up. Let's call him Hank. Yeah, okay, I'll go with that. That makes sense. Frank or Hank. That done.
I'm confused.
Hank puts his hand on your shoulder, Erelon, and looks at you. And when you're looking at him, you can see in his face has gone slack, and his eyes are black. And he punches you in the face. Boom! Square. Take 4 points of damage.
4. Oh my goodness. So he... Black eyes, punched me in the face. Dazed, Erelon is going to retaliate and try to knock him upside the head with his quarterstaff with a 21 to hit.
21 hits him. Oh yeah. You cracked him in the side of the head.
And that is going to be 1d6 for 9 damage.
Okay, he takes...
It's going to be some dual damage too.
He's still up. He takes it. You can see him, his eyes close, and he puts his hand on his head, and he shakes his head, and his eyes open, and
Bonus
it's his regular blue eyes again.
bonus action, flurry of blows. It's going to use healing hand on him.
Oh, okay.
So that's he's going to use hand of healing on him. So he knocked him, set something out of place, and then other way.
You go.
He set his neck
Crack it
back
back
in
in.
place.
And he just... Looks around, feels his neck. What the hell happened?
I think something took over your mind.
I gotta get out of here.
I do agree.
He starts to leave.
Yeah. So he looks back up and he has a rope. He's just gonna try to throw it up to 10 feet. And,
It's 30 feet.
Oh,
Yeah, 30 feet down the slope.
oh, I thought we fell.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a slope.
You fell. You
Never
fell.
mind.
You fell 10 feet and then you slid
Yeah.
down
Okay.
another 20.
Gotcha. So it's a slope. Erlon will just try to make his way out.
Sirius is up there if you want to throw a rope.
Yeah, he will. He'll throw
He might grab
with
it.
Serratus.
She's like,
So-
oh, look at
Roll
him.
your athletics with advantage then. no, with the rope, you guys easily get out of there.
That's
I
gonna
don't know,
be
you might not catch it.
a 9.
9
9.
with advantage.
Mhm.
It just takes time. That's all. And as you're getting pulled up, you can hear the skittering down below.
Oh god.
Raven, I need a wisdom saving throw. 17. You also feel this cloudiness in your head and just lose focus for a moment and then you shake it back and you're there. Erlon has made it up to the top. And yeah. The two humans are still there. The two humans are just trying to get up. One makes it, and the other one makes it with the athletics. They're able to scramble up.
Alright, so
There is a rope dangling down the Raven if you want to climb up as well.
Well, seeing as I'm the only one down here, I don't like those odds. So yes, I will climb up.
You grab onto the rope and begin to climb, and by the time you're about 10 feet up, the other two humans have got up there and are pulling on the rope, pulling you out of there.
okay, so that was not good. Yeah, if only there was some way we could just. He kind of motions down into the tunnel with the skittering and just burn it all.
Too bad you didn't know it.
Just want to burn it down. Everything.
I could have.
So there's that, and you guys get out of there.
Alright, I think that with the amount of those bugs, you all saw them. I'm not going crazy. You
I
just.
see nothing.
They saw nothing.
Oh, yeah, Raven saw nothing.
They didn't either.
Neither one of
They
them saw
didn't.
anything.
Hold on, I'll roll their. They just tore. One guy definitely didn't, and one guy rolled an 11. I'm gonna say he heard skittering.
I was looking at that over there, pointing at the beautiful gem, and then I heard the floor give out, and you dropped, and you rolled, and then I heard you yammering on about something, trying to get in your head, and then you came back up.
Yeah, no. Erlon just crosses his arms. There are insects down there that are about as big as a man's torso. So, if you want to be like, if you don't believe me, that's fine. But that's what happened to Jeff. He just
Which one was Jeff?
he points back to the body.
How
That's
did I not see that?
So, Erlon
Just
just kind of.
there and there.
Erlon holds out his hands and he says, I think we need a little bit of backup for that, because that is not something that we can just go willy-nilly into.
No, that kind of.
Too bad nobody told Jeff.
Did Jeff actually see them? Because I was pretty sure Jeff and Andy were both under the impression.
No, that's right. They didn't.
Yeah, they
They
did.
didn't. They
Nobody's
didn't
seen them except you.
That is awesome. That is so
You're
awesome.
Now nobody believes it.
Right.
Nobody
And
believes
then
you
you
that
start
they're
talking
giant
about how you
bugs.
got something controlling your brain,
And you smacked one guy and then he
and you
was
attacked your own party member.
After he punched you in the
See,
face.
this is the kind
So
of
the real
thing.
question is, what did Jeff do to you that made you kill him in the middle of the night and blame it
Oh
on
God!
This seems like a perfect thing that you guys might have to go and get some extra help on
Yeah.
somewhere in the city.
Erlon's gonna just start making his way back. holding his head in his hand. He's got a headache now.
All right. You guys make it back after half an hour searching around. Nani, Gales, are you guys gonna do something?
Galus is gazing into the fire, looking to see if her familiar face is anywhere.
Doesn't. It hasn't been seen.
No, not since it came underground.
And Nani's still trying to console poor Gretch, who's gone into spasmodic throes of
And at this point,
insanity at this point.
Dhermit returns.
Oh, good.
And he resumes his seat back there where he was sitting, puts out his ledger, puts out his sack of coin, and starts doing some more paperwork. And he looks up if anybody has anything to do.
Well, Erlon would have come back through the door, saw Dhermit, and he comes up to him and says, "So, there's a bit of an infestation issue with your new mining venture." He raises a brow. "And we need some extra help to get rid of these insect-like creatures." Insect.
Raid. Get some raid.
Big as a man's torso.
She doesn't sound convinced. As big as a man's torso.
Do you say
No
that?
one's convinced of
Yes.
Conveniently,
He kind of
Convenient. Yeah.
giggles at Cereza and then looks back at you.
Poor Erlon.
he's not lying.
Oh, I know.
So he's deadpan serious, and there are puncture marks on the bodies. Well, and it's all just goop out there.
Jam.
So Erlon says, "If you don't believe me, you can. Raven, you saw the body of Jeff. You saw Jeff's body. It was punctured, torn apart.
We believe it was Jeff.
That was Jeff is dead, 100%.
That is unfortunate news. I was fond of Jeff.
Let's just let me
Whom you
finish.
met 2 days
Damn.
prior.
Fond of Jeff. I didn't remember his name.
By the way, there are a lot of these creatures that don't seem to care about ripping up whoever.
Concerning. Perhaps we should have a meeting of sorts. Figure something out. There's a few matters at hand. One, we'll need supplies. Someone will have to go into town. We're going to be here for a while. We have a lot of mouths to feed and a lot of work to be done. So I'll be setting people up to do certain tasks, and you get them done. We'll need men, we'll need food, and we'll need supplies.
Erlon nods. He also does mention that the ground caved in
Some food.
and that there were several dozen of these creatures.
We'll
Granted
need,
that
we'll need to do
conven-
something about that.
Allegedly.
Nobody conveniently saw them, and
Do not worry, Erlon. I trust your judgment, and if it's dangerous, I'm sure it is right to check it out. However, in the meantime, we'll need more men. I'll be sending you out for tasks. We'll need to get soldiers, men to help work and help defend against the insect creatures. Nani, can you manage supplies, food for 17 men, plus more?
Of course I can.
Aye. It's a sack of gold. He says, "Here, take this, get what you need. Erlon needs some help. Perhaps you, Cereza, or Galus can go with him. Galus, would you mind going with Nani?"
I think that'd be okay.
"Very well. I'll send Frank with you. Heavy lifting.
so what
Yeah.
is it?
Should we shift the eye around him a little bit?
Roll insight."
So this is 22.
Well, you're so good and set up for errands, and he wants me to do paperwork.
Mm-hmm. Paperwork.
You're forgetting how much Nani distrusts.
You have distrust for him, but you don't seem any more distrust than normal.
I
It's
don't.
just the same shifty guy.
But he's always doing shifty shit.
He's
So
always doing
anybody that's associated is an automatic shifty eye.
So what are Erlon and Cereza going to go do right now?
You're going to pick up some mercenaries.
Okay.
Also, things you guys have forgotten about, you have a series of pieces of artifacts and other gems and stuff that you got from treasure from the Goblin place.
Yep.
That magic items you need identified and other stuff. So there is other town stuff you guys have to do that's not related to Dhermit and his regime of doing whatever he's doing.
And some of
So
us have
Technically, I could
Yeah, we're
cast
just-
identify, so
Yes, you can. So there's that. But so if you guys wanted to do that during the time, absolutely, because I really want to do that. If you want to do that. So did you get a hold on a pearl?
I wasn't aware that I needed one.
Yeah, I think it's the
It
pearl
is-
we identify. It's
You need a pearl worth 100 gold pieces as
Yeah.
the focus, but it's not consumed by the cast.
not consumed. It's just always there. So that's something you'll have to go to
If I don't
town.
have one, I'll dig one up. I would imagine I would because I already know the spell.
You've been through a couple of towns. You're going to be rolling on 3rd level. I would say Dhermit. You can broker with Dhermit for a 100 gold pearl within your pay. He's got a big bag of gems, and I'm sure he's got one. So you got one. And to identify them, absolutely. So we will be identifying.
The real question is, are you going to mention the 17 gold that the priests...
The bill?
That's,
No, we're not talking about that. We're just gonna pretend.
They're waiting for you.
Is it your debt or is it his debt? That's the real question.
It was
Did
his,
you make the agreement?
but he said I'll negotiate with my employer.
I didn't
Rude
send
today.
them, though. That's the thing.
It's a very
waiting
complicated
for you.
situation.
You did ask, did anyone send for them?
Yeah, but
They turned up shortly
Technically,
after.
Ravum sent for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was that.
You were the guy who answered the door.
But it was
You were the
that-
guy who
he-
spoke Draconic
but it was
or
the-
whatever.
It was the dwarf who showed up there for them. So
Yeah, what deal
technically-
did he make? Find the dwarf guy, fight him. See what happens.
The major thing is, he
Shake
had the
17
money
gold.
to pay
It's true.
and didn't.
Instead of dealing with Dhermit, he decided to wheel and deal with them. Yeah, it's brazen. You're a brave boy.
There's 5 magic items. There's a quiver. There are one we already identified, boots of elven kind. You have a bunch of elves. They are able to identify what it was. So you have boots of elven kind. You have a staff with the head of a snake. You identify that as the staff of Python. It can make a snake,
To make a
and
snake.
it turns into a snake.
And Galus runs away.
no, the squeak
And
is-
this quiver is actually a quiver of Oros, reflavored as the quiver of Alona, but it's the quiver of Oros. Very, very handy quiver, can hold a whole bunch of different things. And you also
Bows and
have,
javelins, and it's huge.
it's huge. Yeah. You also have 2 crowns, bronze crowns with strange writing on them, writing that none of you understand.
Galus and Nani just
Very
wear them.
Yeah, we just wear them.
Yeah, of course, absolutely.
If you don't want me to identify them first.
Nah, you can have them, I guess. The
Nice.
flash
Nice.
So-
time.
Nice.
Upon identification, you can sense thoughts of other creatures, and to a certain point, control them. But the magic is roll Arcana.
It's a really good point.
13.
13.
I could tell it
The
was
magic is dated, old, real old. Even with the runes on the bronze themselves engraved into the bronze, you can tell that it's old. It's not a language you've ever even seen before. But it does have some sort of ability to read minds and control things around you. But it's vague because of its archaic nature.
Okay.
It's like a different sort of science, you know? Something maybe based off something else, but that's what you have. And if you guys would like to wear them,
No.
If
Do you?
there's no rush, I will use comprehend languages to see if I can read the writing that's
you
on.
do, and it doesn't work.
Interesting. Means it's complete gibberish.
It's,
It's better words.
no, since you know that didn't work, it's maybe perhaps some sort of
Secret code.
archaic, I was going to say archaic, arcanic something, but I didn't have a third word for it.
Cipher?
Some Yes, something like that. An arcanic cipher of some sort, but maybe not. Just it's old, and the magic isn't quite the same, but it's definitely magical and has those somewhat properties. Do you guys try them on?
I'm gonna put one on.
Okay, you put one on.
Let's see what happens.
Okay.
Erlon's eyeing the boots of Elvenkind just because he appreciates the craftsmanship.
So, magic items, we're going to have to decide as a party. First come, first serve, roll-offs, do it fairly. It's completely up to you guys. Role play it how you want to. Just be fair. Be nice.
None doesn't care.
Yeah, most, no.
Is the crown pretty?
It's already on my head.
Kind of, no, it's magical.
This-
Kind of
this-
tarnished to
this-
age, but it is a very, very pure bronze. Very pure.
Does anything
pretty
happen when it
princess.
touches my head? I figure.
If you don't take good care of it, it'll grow
So
patina.
I am going
Tina's
to
pretty.
cast Prestidigitation to clean the other crown.
Oh, it is immaculately
Mine's
clean now.
fine.
Shiny, glimmering in the
I
torch.
wear it.
You wear it.
Oh,
Okay.
so-
So as soon as you put it on,
You guys like telepathy?
Heidi, sorry, Galus, your passing thoughts right now are of your husband, why you can't see him, why you don't want to be down here, all these jumble of feelings. Tell him what you're thinking.
Tell who?
Cereza.
You can feel all my thoughts. I'm thinking of my dead husband and about the research that I need to do while I'm here.
Okay. Research into elven biology and children. What is your surface
I'm
thoughts?
thinking about how pretty the crown, how shiny and beautiful the crown is. How I definitely need to convince her to let me clean hers because they're matching, and she can't be wearing one that doesn't look as good as mine if they're identical. And I'm wondering. No, I already ate. I think I ate too much.
Satisfaction.
No, I'm okay.
I think I ate too much. Maybe I can convince. Maybe I can get Galus to go on our spontaneous run with me. And whether or not the elf is just seeing things with those giant bugs.
And you guys kind of lock eyes across the room when this happens, and did that just happen?
Did you just... Or what?
You're hungry, Cereza. Like fucking real hungry.
Is that Galus's hunger that perhaps, yeah? Because he's hungry all the
Is there any
time.
food left?
There's always food.
She walks in the kitchen, Donnie just hands
You
her a bowl.
are feeling somewhat more at peace. And this crown is pretty dirty,
But pretty.
but pretty.
What?
I'm guessing that these are curves.
I feel better.
Yeah, that was great. This worked well for her, not so much
That
for
little
you.
ache that was in my back is kind of gone. I don't feel quite so hungry.
You're
You are
seeing
starting to have an
things?
achy back.
Oh yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Oh.
So you guys must have.
Must have found the runt of that one one
you're-
hard spot in that bed.
No, that's cool. And you're going with Erlon, and Galus is going with Nani.
So now we've
We have
basically taken out.
walkie-talkies.
But we've also basically, now I'm taking her, and he's taking her.
So
Wait, no, did we switch bodies?
No, but
No.
your sort of your memories and your thoughts are a little bit.
We're connected
I'm
now,
taking
right?
a little bit of you.
little
Well, walkie-talkies.
hive mindish maybe.
Oh, no, not the hive mind.
Oh no.
So Nani, Galus, Erlon, Cereza, Frank, you guys all leave
Oh,
to go do certain things, tasks, get supplies, do whatever you have to do.
Snacks.
Raven. Dhermit is sitting at the table and he says, Raven, join me. He's dropped his Irish accent completely.
Pull up a chair.
He gets close to you and he says, so, we've been given a wonderful opportunity. I left earlier. Then he touches his ledger and he says, had some paperwork drawn up. He takes it out and he gives it to you. You look it over and it's It's the deed for the mine, signed off by Trell and Gretch, the only surviving members of the Gretch family.
Funny how we got that.
Funny, isn't it? All the paper, roll investigation. With advantage, because you know something's going on. With advantage.
I do this stuff.
Yeah, you do this stuff, yeah.
19.
Oh, he rolled a 19 as well. I'm going to say his bonus was slightly bigger than yours, but you can't tell the difference. And you did a good check. You checked every word. Even the punctuation is correct. Looks good. And then he takes it back, he folds it all up, and he brings Trell and Tresk in. He calls them, he says, Trell, Gretch, come here for a minute. And they come in, and he says, well, good to see you again. Please, join us. I've noticed and I've heard that there's been some terrible things that have happened to you and your family. And believe me that I have the most regret for such things to happen to people. But I believe we are in a situation here that we can help each other. Your mind is no longer functioning. I have the funds and the means to make it functioning and bring the family of Gretch back to where they once were. He takes out a piece of paper and he hands it to Trell. And he says, read this, and if you're comfortable with it, write your name down. And I will make sure that the family of Gretch rises again to the top. Trell looks it over. Reading it, he's kind of looking up at Dhermit, looking over at Ravum. Ravum, roll insight.
We're gone by this point, aren't we?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he sent us away just to
That's
be able
fucking
to
right,
do
it is.
this.
I didn't have the. I guess he sent Frank with us because I was totally ready to put
18.
Frank on
18?
guard.
Oh, he's about to speak.
He doesn't know what he's looking at. This child is a child. And now you know that he is just a pompous child. All the talk and all the
I knew he
Yeah.
was from day one.
So now the proof is in the pudding that he looks up at you, kind of looking for someone to say, yeah, that's the right thing to do. But just looks around again, and then he signs his name on the piece of paper and gives it back to Dhermit. Dhermit takes it candidly and he says, very good. You've made a fine business decision today. Let everything in my capable hands, and I'll take care of you. He puts the pieces of paper back into his ledger, looks at you, Ravum, smiles this greedy smile out of line of sight of the children, and then puts the ledger down. And he says, very well, our business is complete. Be as you will. And he gets up, takes his stuff, and walks away from the table.
Thank you for watching the Death Needs Dialogue Entertainment Network. This has been The Depths of Fel'Than, Episode 10, The Sons of Gretch, Part C. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, check us out on our Patreon page at www.patreon.com/deathneedsdialogue. Also check us out on our Facebook page or YouTube. A subscribe there will go a long way. Be well and have a Merry Christmas.